Hello everyone, thank you so much for coming to our pitch event. Today, if I'm not wrong, is number 51. So we've been already conducting 50 pitch events, bringing on the stage on average almost 250 founders. So we are very happy contributing to the not only Europe startups, but actually we are running events in Asia. We are running events bringing founders from the US, Canada, wherever. So we are very much committed in helping any founder coming from any angle of this world. So today we are more oriented to Europe, as you can see in front of you, all our founders coming pretty much from the UK and Europe, and yeah, it's all Europe in one, under one box, as I call. But anyway, we stay distinguished. Now, before starting, today we have 5 founders. If you want to make any question during our pitch event, which will last for 1 hour, you can just write down your question and we bring them to our founders. At the same time, I would like to start with Tausif Riyadh. So we try to bring anytime we can an investor guest. Today we have Tausif Riyadh. I'm very happy, Tausif, having you with us, co-founder of Consider Care. Tausif is extremely well positioned to be with us today. He has been a corporate venture capital, angel investors today, but also he runs his own startups. So more than him, we can be the right person, the right fit to be with us today, and not only making questions of funders, but helping them to understand where to move forward, how and where to move. So Tausif, thank you so much for being with us today. We already had you. I'm very happy to have you again. Please, if you want to give an introduction to yourself, and after we move straight to our founders. Thank you.
No, thank you, Max, for having me on the show again, I guess. I think you and your team are doing a great job, bringing forth all these undiscovered gems like these small companies, which are working on extremely interesting ideas. So happy to be on the show and look at them as investors and also helping them find partners and other investors. So thank you for having me on.
Thanks to you for coming. Thank you very much for coming. Undiscovered gem is very beautiful. I will keep this with me. Jennifer, thank you so much. Jennifer Mathisen, co-founder and CEO of Kidsie, London, United Kingdom, consumer and climate, pre-seed around 600,000 in pounds. How's it going, Jennifer?
Yeah, very good. Excited to be here. Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming and spending your time with us, pitching your idea and sharing your knowledge. Please, if you want to give an introduction to yourself, and after, just go straight to pitch.
Yeah, absolutely. So my name is Jennifer. I'm a San Francisco native based in London. My background's in sustainability and climate, and I'm a co-founder of Kidsie, and we're changing how families shop for their kids. Cool. Okay, so as parents, we cannot believe how fast kids grow, how much stuff they require, and how much stuff they need after they outgrow everything that they require. Secondhand has not been a stranger to kids' stuff, but there are pain points in using the existing secondhand platforms that we use when we typically shop for our kids. One is they tend to be generalist. Many lack the right categories. They don't have a retail experience. They lack curation. A lot of times they're filled with random stuff, and sometimes you have to rock up to a stranger's house with cash in hand to get what you're after. The second part of this is that there's little transparency on the origin, the lifespan, and market pricing of an item. And on the other side of this, traditional retail is slowing. It's only growing 1% in the UK, and it's a hard model right now because of supply chain issues, rising costs of material, and inflation. With consumer interest in resale at the moment and the pressure of the brands to be more sustainable, brands are looking for profitable ways to enter the circular economy. And it's a big market. Each year, we spend a massive $555 billion shopping for our kids. Now, with more of us looking to purchase secondhand, resale is growing 28% year on year. And what makes it interesting in the kids' space is it's growing the fastest in the millennial group, and we're currently the generation having children. With this hyper growth, we think it's time to disrupt the secondhand platform as we know it. So we saw this as an opportunity and it manifested itself into Kidsie. We are a marketplace that empowers brands to tap into a thriving resale market. Brands sell open box, X-display, returned kids gear to our community of families who get to purchase from the brands that they love and trust at resale price points. They outgrow these items and resell them back on the Kidsie platform through a really simple automated listing, either peer-to-peer to other families on the platform or back to the brands. We track things like origin, pricing, usage, and lifespan of items, all valuable data that tends to get lost in the secondhand market. Our core revenue is a commission on sale each time an item is sold. So we will make a commission on the same item 2 or 3 times as it gets circled through our platform. So what makes us the right team to deliver this? Well, combined, we have over 30 years experience in climate marketplaces, both B2C and B2B, building tech and growth marketing. We're also onboarding advisors from Lego Group and Depop. Our customers are also in our demographic. They're millennial new and expecting parents. They care about sustainability. They're into money saving. They shop online from sustainable brands, and customer lifetime value is about 7 years. We reach our customers both on and offline. Online is where most new parents spend their time searching for kids stuff, but we've also built in a referral system as we know how important word of mouth is in parent circles. We're also onboarding community ambassadors who will market for us. We're creating strategic partnerships and we're embedding ourselves in the brands. And we've had some great traction to date. We've been listed as one of the best apps for parents along Peanut, Olio, and Bubble. We've grown Bootstrap to 3,500 families. We've got over 3,000 items listed on our platform, and we're developing commercial agreements with some of the largest baby and kid gear brands in the UK. These have all been encouraging signs, and we're ready for mass adoption. So what we're working on next, right now we're building out from our MVP, we're hiring in development, go-to-market, and growth, and we're growth hacking to scale, and we're also fundraising. Our vision is to get to 40 brands onboarded on our platform and 100,000 users in the next 18 months in the UK. We're going to distribute following that in the US and Europe, where resale is growing even faster. We want to systemically change how families shop for their kids and how brands build profitable circular revenue streams. Oh, and just by shopping on Kidsie, families can save about 500,000 tons of CO2 from going into the environment over the next 5 years. And that's the equivalent of 100,000 long-haul flights between London and my home in San Francisco. And this is our fundraise. The market is ripe for opportunity, and we would love for you to join us on a journey. Thank you.
That's a perfect pitch, even 20 seconds before the timing, which is great. Thank you so much, Jennifer. Tausif, I leave it into you.
Yeah, no, very, very nice, Jennifer. And I think it's a great idea, especially around, how you capture economic value every time a good does a lap, between one consumer to another. I have a few questions. I think the most obvious one is like, how do you ensure the quality and safety of these products when they exchange hands? Because for kids products especially, like that's a big thing, and there have been a lot of issues in that space, right? So how do you ensure when things are exchanging hands, the safety and the quality is not compromised? It's still kind of retained.
No, it's a very good. So we do have a partner who does refurbs and quality checks. They're manufacturer approved. So we do recommend that in the exchange of a premium item that they go to our partner and have something checked, refurbed, cleaned. It's very cost effective, and it actually extends the lifespan even further and makes that item eligible for probably another iteration of usage following that. So that's how we do it. We also try and promote just genuine honesty through being a community on the state of the item. We're all parents on the platform. Even the brands working with us, they're all parents. So we know that kids use and destroy lots of things. We know the state that things are coming to us after they've been used for a certain amount of period of time. So we're just trying to promote honesty and a partnership with a company who can partner with us and help them refurb and fix up anything. With the brands who are selling on our platform, those items are checked and graded, so we know the state of those. Some of them have been reassured warranties. With those, it's much clearer. But on the peer-to-peer side, we're doing what we can to just make sure that that everyone is aware of A, the state of what they're getting, and B, that there's an option to get something checked. And ideally checked even before it hits sale, because if you can get an item refurbed and cleaned up, you're going to get a lot more for your money than if you sell it in the state of having been used for a year by a toddler.
Okay. And how are you solving like the logistics part of the equation? Because like the goods cost can be low, but transportation, there's fuel burning there, and especially in peer-to-peer, like how does that kind of delivery work? So somebody picks up something from my home, it goes to a refurbishment center or not, and then it gets delivered to a buyer. How do you manage the cost and I guess the friction that generates in the marketplace for you?
Of course. So on the peer-to-peer side, if it's something that's not going to get refurbed and cleaned, because a lot of the items actually don't need to. The bigger things like travel systems, you probably want to get that done. The contract with the price of getting something refurbed, the shipment is included in that price. And on the complete peer-to-peer side, we actually encourage like a location-based shopping. We are a location-based platform, so you can shop within as little of a 1 mile radius and see what's available, because we really want to not have aside from being a sustainable circular platform, we don't want to then just add like extra shipping, CO2 and cost to everything.
Okay. And I guess the last question, which I guess probably every investor asks, right? Like, what is your moat? Like, what differentiates you? Like in Canada, we have something called Kijiji, right? So there's a lot of buying and selling going on there. Then you have these physical stores where you can sell kids' goods and buy them. So each community has a few of those, right? And it's actually fashionable among kids now. They like to buy used stuff. How do you kind of stand out in this crowd, like of Amazons and eBays at one end, and then the local listings, the Craigslist and Kijijis and whatever you guys have in UK on the other end?
Yeah, so we're a hybrid model. So we're taking the best of both. We've got on the peer-to-peer side, it's very much a community, it's location-based. You're getting the same personal experience on the peer-to-peer side as you would if in your local Facebook group or nursery WhatsApp chat. But we're also working with the brands. You can buy from the brands that you love and trust, and know that you're getting a really, really good product directly from them that might have like a small cosmetic scratch on it because it's been used for a week and a half, but it's been quality checked. It's on the platform. You're getting it at a discount, and to combine those two, we've automated a relisting. So once you buy something, all you have to do, there's no pain points. You just have to like literally switch it back on, give a little update to how it's been used, any notes that you want to add, and ideally like one more picture of what the item looks like now, but it just takes away the need for having to start from scratch. It's all there, and the data is all there.
Okay. Good stuff. Your presentation was very clear, so I don't have any other questions. Max, is that okay, or are we out of time, or do we still have some time?
We must go.
Okay. Yeah, one follow-up question, I'll drop her.
Absolutely, Jennifer, to get in touch with you after the pitch. We still have another 4 funders coming, so we had to give some space to them. Before I move on to our second funder, everyone wants to see our pitch event. The recorded version is on our EquityMatch YouTube channel, also on our YouTube, on our LinkedIn profile. So you can go there and see all the pitch events we've been running so far, 51. At the same time, if you want to come to pitch, just email at pitch@equitymatch.com, and the team we come back to you and we give you all the options available. Now, I'm moving to our second founder, Roman Talalaev, founder and CEO of Good Goods, Luxembourg, e-commerce, seed round $500,000 in USD. How's it going, Roman?
Hello, everyone. My name is Roman. I'm CEO of Good Goods, and I'm very happy to see you here. I have more than 15 years of sales experience in B2B sector. During this time, I have gained valuable expertise and established effective sales and marketing teams. My main areas of specialization include marketing and marketplace. And I'm ready to pitch. So, I would like to ask a question. How do you make a decision to choose the right product from the million items on marketplace? Nobody wants to buy a bad product, but how do we know if a product is good? We read reviews, right? Good Goods is a product testing service. We provide e-commerce brand with high quality review about their product, increase position on the marketplace, and boost sales. At the moment, we are focused on Indian market. India, one of the fastest growing country in retail e-commerce sales. For example, currently Amazon in India has more than 200k active seller, almost 170 million products, and every product must have good reviews because 95% of customer don't buy the product without feedback. And the problem is only 4% of customer leave product reviews. We will take care of product testing by the target audience of the brand, receiving feedback and reviews on online platform. And now let's learn more about how it works. We have thousands of users in our service who want to receive goods in exchange for their detailed feedback. They are ready to buy product on marketplace, test them, and then give detailed reviews and share their impressions. On the other side, it's other clients, brands on marketplace. They order test of their product in our service and select an optimal target audience. In 2 week times, they get feedback about their product and advice on improving it according to the customer needs. Actually, we know the podiums, and I believe that Good Goods like a podium, but for D2C brands. And this is statistics how reviews affect sales in e-com. There is a direct linear relationship between number of reviews on a product page and the increase in conversion rate. Every brands know that for successful sales on marketplace is necessary to constantly add new product on marketplace, and all the product must have reviews and ratings. The problem is that new products have no reviews and 0 ratings. If there is no ratings, there are no sales. Actually, we have competitors on our market, but all the competitors focus on algorithms and fake reviews. We are focused on real customer. This is our growth dynamics for 6 months, and this is our unit economics. For today, we understand how we can find the competitor, or how we can find the customer, and we ready to grow our business. We are founders, Roma and Vishal. We have experience in e-commerce market and energy to drive startup. I have already experience in building a business from scratch to 1.5 million revenue in 2021. And this is our advisors, entrepreneurs with extensive business experience. For today, we are looking for $500K and it can help us to automate process in our web service and grow our profitable business in India. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you so much, Roman. Today we have a extremely outperformer. You've been pitching for 4 minutes.
I'll do my best.
But you're not going to lose 1 minute. Of course, Tausif has 6 minutes of Q&A, so you must do that. It's up to you.
Yeah. No, I have 3 or 4 questions. Like great presentation. I think with each iteration, Max, the quality is improving at your end also. So it's just good to see, so many good ideas and so many clear pitches, right? So Roman, I have 3 or 4 questions, like I said. So first, and which is the obvious question, is like, how do you ensure that when you're recruiting these kind of testers, that their reviews are unbiased and high quality, right? Because generally it's done by independent companies, but these are also consumers, they're getting paid for it. How and I come from South Asia, so like, not a very trusting bunch,
Yeah.
I guess I can say. Like, how would I know that that person is not biased, the one who's reviewing a product that I want to buy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of ways why it's not some buyers, because, so for example, in our service you can't buy a lot of product for test. You can get more than 3 products per month. It
Yeah.
means that if you are a professional writer or something else, it's not interesting to you to work with us.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
the first way. And the second way, we receive full feedback about the product. It means that it should include photo in video and some text content, and we receive more than 20 questions about the product. It means that if you are some writer, it's not interesting for you also. It means we are focused on real customer who really interesting to play with us, and who really interested to improve the product, and improve the business, and help them to help brand to understand customer needs more.
Okay. And do you have any data on how your
Yeah.
reviews impacted the sales or customer satisfaction of any goods?
Yeah, sure. We have our data, and we focus on it, and we understand how we can do more for brands. So, for example, and yes, actually we do.
Okay. But have you seen, like, what kind of impact have you seen in terms of, I don't know, customer
Okay.
satisfaction or sales increase? Like, did it increase
Yes.
the conversion ratio by 10%
Yes.
for buyers? Yeah.
I can say that first 10 review can increase your sale by 3 times.
Okay.
And after this, and there are a lot of logic.
Okay. And then how big is your, I guess, obtainable market? Because it's a very noisy space, right? You've got TikTok,
Yep.
you've got the
Yeah, for
reviews
sure.
on each e-commerce platform, you've got people on Facebook, on YouTube, everybody's reviewing something, right? And people usually actually just go on Google, right? So they'll just type, or YouTube, like, show me a review of something. How do
Yep.
you, within that kind of so much competition, like, how big do you think your market is that you're addressing, right?
Yes. So as for today, we are focused on e-commerce platform.
Yeah.
And it's some Amazon or Flipkart in India. And after this, we have a big plan, because we have a big data about all the products and customer needs. And after this, we understand how we can work with this data also.
Okay. But what do you estimate the market size to be in terms of dollar value for you? Yeah.
As for me, it's nearby $3 trillion in India.
Okay. Oh, you mean the e-commerce one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Um, is there any technology play in your platform? Like, is it a service, or do you have your own kind of technology or platform that you're using for this?
Yes, actually. So actually, we have a pipeline, tested pipeline. You have to book the product, receive the product, and after this, send the video, unpacking video, and a lot of details. And inside our web service, we create some automatization process, and it can help us to provide more than 10,000 review per month. And we working on it, and would like to do more. And actually, we work with some text and some optimized process. So, for example, understand the video and photo and quality of the photo. a lot of these things, because when it comes to review, you have to understand that good review include photo and video, and it can be more helpful for all the customer to understand the product more. And that's why we are focused on this quality review. It's not about just on the text, it's a good product or something else. We are focused on real photo and real video, and this content can show you more, just only text, and we are focused on it also.
Okay, good enough. So nothing else from my side, Max.
Thank you, Tas. Thank you so much, Roman. Hey, stay with us, don't go. We are all back soon. I'm moving to our third founder. So, Andrei, Perjan, founder and CEO of Trusty Digital, again, London, UK, blockchain, seed round between 150 to 240K in USD. How's it going, Andrei? You're muted. Unmute yourself.
Hello, everybody. Nice to meet you here. My name is Andrei Perjan. I'm thrilled to be here today to present myself as experienced entrepreneur and business person with over 25 years of tech industry expertise. Throughout my career, I've been fortunate enough to work on various successful ventures, and today I'm excited to introduce you our latest innovation, a groundbreaking platform based on blockchain technology, Trusty Digital. So let's go. So around a year ago, we stumbled upon an extraordinary idea, a platform that would revolutionize the way we create, manage, and invest in assets. With this vision in mind, we set out to build a platform that enables users to create, tokenize real-world assets, manage, and invest to generate a steady income stream. Our platform, Trusty Digital, focuses on key sectors such as real estate, education and HR, payments, and blockchain solution development as a service. By leveraging the power of blockchain technology, we aim to disrupt these industries and unlock new opportunities for investors and asset owners alike. When considering to the market opportunity, it's important to highlight the potential of tokenization. So according to industry research, it's projected that the tokenization market will reach up to 10 trillion within the next 3 years. Taking into account the real estate, education, payment sectors, we conservatively estimate our addressable market to reach at least 250 millions. Based on our competitive advantage in providing cost-effective transaction fees is a key driver in capturing a significant market share. By offering a more affordable alternative, we aim to disrupt existing market landscape and become the go-to platform for users seeking cost-efficient and reliable transaction services. So our business model has been also validated by our competitors' colleagues as well. But what really set us apart is our ability to embrace new technologies while adhering to existing regulation. So tokenization presents immense opportunity for investors and asset owners, granting them access to liquidity and flexibility that was previously unavailable. We aim to be leaders in this space by offering an innovative solution that combines the advantages of blockchain technology with established rules and regulations. One of the key aspects of our business model is the transaction fees we offer, which are 10 times cheaper than the current market offering when compared to associated costs. This cost advantage set us apart from existing solutions and position us as a more attractive option for customers and investors. I'm delighted to announce that our platform is already live and operational. We have worked tirelessly to ensure a seamless user experience, robust security measures, and a scalable infrastructure. Now we are ready to take the next step in our journey by seeking a small first stage funding up to $240,000. So why you should consider investing in our venture? So, well, this unique business model has the potential to deliver an impressive return on investment to our V-stage investors. So we anticipate returns ranging from 30x to an astonishing 100x even, making this incredible lucrative opportunity. To ensure investor satisfaction, we are offering an advanced subscription agreement which provides flexible options, and which this approach allows us to investor to participate in our growth while enjoying the benefits of potential future conversions. Behind of this incredible platform is a highly talented team comprised of individuals from various countries. So we have carefully assembled a diverse group of experts, each bringing the unique skill set and passion for revolutionizing the asset management industry. In conclusion, our platform represents a game-changing opportunity in the world of asset management. So we are incredibly excited about the potential of our venture, and we invite you to join us on this exciting journey. So without further ado, let's reshape the future of asset management together. Thank you for your time, your consideration. I'm open to any question or discussion you may have now, later, anytime. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Andrei. I leave any question to Tassi.
Yeah, no, thanks, Andrei. Just kind of backing up again, Andrei, can you clarify your platform a bit more? It's not, didn't really come out clearly to me. What exactly does it do, right? It's some sort of a blockchain as a service platform, but what are the use cases where it gets applied, right? And after that, if you can explain then the business model around that. So what are the use cases of your platform? And then what is the business model,
Okay, thank you very much for your question. So one of the case of our business of our platform is that we using blockchain technology, and for real estate direction, we allow fractionalize the real estate, and we allow to co-own a piece of this real estate, and then to get appreciation cost, rental cost directly for different investors. So it doesn't matter if you invest $100 or if you invest $1,000. So this option allows you to keep transparency, cheap transaction cost, automate, and high security. But we are not looking to replace existing rules, not looking to replace existing financial system. Our solution is to adopt existing system with the new techniques, with the new technology, and to allow everybody who is looking for additional income to use our solution.
Yeah.
And the second one.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, and the second one question you asking about the business model. So our business model, how we are generating the revenue. So our revenue based on the transaction. We have tried to make as simple as possible to demonstrate how it's working, but behind of this simplicity, it's very, very complex solutions. So why we have selected a few directions: real estate, education, and payment solution. So this direction is like must have. So our platform generates revenue from all transactions. When we tokenize any real assets, we charge our customer for that tokenization. When our users make any swap or exchange, we do a piece of small fee for the transactions. For education purposes and how education can allow us to build a loyal audience, because based on research, around 85 or 90% people have less financial and investment literacy, and our experience, our existing solutions will allow to onboard the peoples to provide them financial literacy courses, and this model allows to become to onboard into our community. So another part of fee, it is fees from a network, from a community network. One of our solution from a payments, it's merchants which use our platform to for their own needs like payments, and we charge a small piece.
Okay, that's all from my side. Max, I have no other questions. Thanks, Andrei.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Tausif. So I'm moving to our fourth founder. Okay, Larry Kotch, CCO and co-founder of FlyBox, London, UK, of course. Agritech seed, 2.5 million in pounds. How's it going, Larry?
Very well. Thanks for having me, Max.
Thanks, Steve, for coming. So I will leave to yourself with your 30 seconds pitch, and after to Tausif.
Sure thing. Yeah. Hey, guys. So I'm Larry Kotch. I'm one of the co-founders of FlyBox. I spent the last 7 years building a technology marketing company, B2B, so a different walk of life. I studied environmental science and philosophy at University of Oxford, so really going back into my passion area here to do something good in the world in a financially and environmentally sustainable way. So I'm very excited to show you how we're going to do that with FlyBox. So FlyBox is an insect technology company. So what we do is we supply technology to people who are looking to farm insects, which is a very big growing area. So what I want you to do is to imagine, first of all, if every food business that was generating organic waste was able to recycle that or upcycle that back into feed inputs like protein back into the food system. We really need that vision to come true because our food system is currently broken and it's unsustainable. At the same time, we actually need better protein. So you might be aware that millions of hectares of the Amazon are cleared every single year to make way for soy plantations. Why do we need these soy plantations? To feed our ever-growing herds of animals, which we need for meat. So on the one hand, you have rapidly growing population that is looking for ever more and more and more meat as they urbanize and go into the middle class. And at the same time, very little natural resources to actually spare and make those kind of proteins that they need. And the crazy thing is in all of this, we're actually throwing away a third of our food anyway, which has loads of the great nutrients. So, of course, people think insects, and rightly so, are one of the top alternative protein choices out there in the market. Hundreds of millions of dollars are flowing into the space. I mean, animal feed is a $1 trillion industry. So obviously people are very interested in this space. And the reasons are quite clear, because you can take the insects, you can match them with organic waste. They will then upcycle those back into nutrients, and they can then be processed into a range of products, mainly insect meal, which would replace things like soy meal and fish meal, with some really added benefits to the animals. And it also produces a really great fertilizer, which is a replacement for the chemical fertilizer that we're all trying to get off as a country. So this also then plays into national food security, because it means we're no longer reliant on imports of things like soy, because we can start producing from the waste we're generating anyway. So what's the holdup? This sounds like a great story, and really it's barrier to entry. So most of if you wanted to set up and build a farm right now, if you're a big food business and you're like, I've got lots of waste, I'd like to make more profits out of it, I'd like to help with this whole space, you're going to need expensive consultants, engineering firms, specialized entomologists, before you can even touch the market, and you'll need a price tag of $20 million. And that is exactly the route that most of the early players have gone down, raising hundreds of millions in venture capital to build sophisticated farms. So that ends with FlyBox. So we are the world's first modular end-to-end insect farm. And so what that means is, for the first time, companies who are, have a budget of a few $100,000 all the way to up to like a couple million, so the small, micro, middle size, now have an option where they can create their own insect farm. And they do that with our core FlyBox modules, the FlyBox Breed, Hatch, and Grow. And these things can be basically assembled together to provide a full insect farming solution at a small, medium, and up to a small and medium scale. So the breed is where the adults mate. These are adult flies, black soldier flies. Then they can hatch as well in the FlyBox hatch, and that's sort of the nursery. Like with any livestock, there's a nursery. Then there's the grow, which is where you then put the waste in, and that's where they're converting it into all these products. We've had exciting early commercial validation. We have a pipeline of customers who are looking to enter the space. They want to create an insect farm in livestock, food processing, supermarkets, feed millers, food logistics, and other insect entrepreneurs, of which there are many and a growing number. And we've had great interest from the likes of Tesco's and Waitrose. It's a big opportunity globally in terms of there are about 75,000 really large food businesses, that's processors and farms, not to mention supermarkets. Then if we look at the target countries we want to target, and specifically the market share we think we can get, we think it represents still a very sizable opportunity to be the main vendor of this technology at that scale of the market. We've also won numerous grants with the UK and EU because we're very aligned, as I say, to the global strategies for countries for getting these problems under control. Our management team, so there's me, who you know, Andrei. She worked for 7 years in the industry at the most exciting companies in the UK. She helped scale those as their chief commercial officer. Then Tom is a finance professional, CFA, who's underwritten very many large ESG deals. And Mike is basically an HVAC nerd who's worked in insect farming for many years. His dad is actually a CTO also in one of the biggest firm in Africa. And we're raising 2.6 million now to help us improve our tech on R&D and start sort of pushing out the first commercial units. And we'd love you to join us on that journey and take insect farming global. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Larry. Tasif, it's all about you now.
Okay. Well, thanks, Larry. Like a great presentation, great concept. But I do have a few questions. So one thing was like, what is the ROI to the farmers? Do you have any idea on that? Let's say as a farmer, he buys one of your modules, let's say a smaller one, he or she. What kind of return on investments can they expect from it? What are the unit economics behind that?
Sure. So an average FlyBox module, that's the stuff that we specialize in, is about $90,000 to pay for one. It's a 40-foot container, so it can do quite a lot of volume of waste, and it cycles through waste very quickly because the insects have a short lifespan. So you can create quite a lot of products out of that. And based on that, plus supporting equipment, which is like for waste processing and post-processing, you can get a return on capital of 20 to 30%, depending again on the product specifications you want. So who you're then going to sell it to? Are you going to use it in your own supply chain? Are you selling it to a pet food producer, which are the main buyers at the moment, or fish feed? And also what waste are you dealing with is going to also change things. So, you may be paying to get rid of your waste right now. So it actually makes sense to invest in, processing equipment. But if you have very low value waste, then it might not be for you. So we want to be able to qualify customers really carefully, that they have a viable, they're a viable team. We wouldn't work with people who are just relying on media portrayals. Yeah.
Okay. And how does your, obviously there's this whole modularity aspect that you talk about, but how else do you differentiate your technology from the other options that are available in the market, right? In terms of, well, there's insect protein itself, but I think that's not what you're doing. You're kind of converting food waste to protein, right? Like, is there anything unique about what you guys are doing, both from a technical perspective and also from an economic perspective?
Yeah, so we're excited about the technology angle we've gone down. So the patentability of our tech, which is in place, is the way in which we're able to force air in between the gaps within the crates or arrangement of equipment inside the container. That was a very difficult challenge to overcome, and required a lot of specialist knowledge on HVAC and even within then some quite hard things we had to invent. So I think in that front, it's actually a universally applicable thing to other vertical farming solutions. So sort of looking at like Second Horizon, it's pretty cool on that side. In terms of economically, we're also able to work in the areas of the world where, to be frank, insect farming makes a lot more sense, like legislatively, wages, regulatory, like in the global south, basically. So around the subtropics, tropical areas. So we're actually based in Kenya as well. So we're one of the only companies that can now supply a company in Africa from east to west with an insect farm that actually has competent technology and not just like relying on the outdoors. And it's actually a bigger market, I'd say, even in Kenya than in the UK. There's a lot more protein being produced there because people are trying to do it outside, but they're facing big bottlenecks. So they're very interested in, for instance, our breeding solutions, where they really struggle on that side. So no one can really claim to do that yet, other than us. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a bit of a segue into my next question. Like, how are what are the obstacles around regulatory and consumer acceptance on the, I guess, output from your insect farms? Like, are there any issues, and if there are, how are you addressing them?
Yeah, so we don't want to get involved with people's business plans. So people have all sorts of reasons to get into insect farming. They call us and tell us all the time. And so for us, it's more we're serving them and making sure that their experience is great and that they've thought of everything. But ultimately, there's many people who want to get into it for whatever reasons. It's currently legal in the EU, UK, Kenya, and Southeast Asia. It's like not only legal, it's highly encouraged and all the rest of it. It's worth noting that what we're doing is for animal feed. So people are producing this protein to feed to animals, not to humans. Although that's perfectly possible, and somewhere this kind of thing could end up. Most of the demand is coming from pet food and fish feed, where they pay higher prices for protein, and they're looking for that ESG angle as well as the price competitiveness. And so but it's all the legislation is in place to allow you to do that today in the UK. You need to get permits and so on. But again, that would be the business of the person. We're just a technology supplier.
Yeah. So as a supplier, how big do you think the market is for you guys?
As FlyBox?
Yeah.
So in terms of the number of large entities, there's about 75,000 that we've pulled a whole report together for that. And each of these large farms could take about 20 of our modules. So there's about a 1.5 million module total addressable market, and then we've cut that down by significant amounts in terms of the market share, and so we think there's like a 400 million a year revenue opportunity achievable with us within our financial plan, long-term financial plan.
Do you sell the farms or do you lease the farms?
Great question. So we're currently only selling them, but once that's in place, we're very keen on doing leasing. We've already started those conversations, but yes.
And last question, in terms of kind of manufacturing, like is there something proprietary that you are building in UK and then that gets shipped over to where the farms are built, or can they be manufactured locally also?
Another great question, and that's another big benefit, is that we can have everything locally assembled. So all of the containers, the insulation, the HVAC has to be ordered if it's not available in their own country, but it's all assembled locally. And so, because the unit economics of this stuff die when you have to build it somewhere and then ship it to the customer. But if you can source most of the parts locally and assemble locally, it's much more palatable for everyone.
Sorry, I said last question, but I have to ask one more. And what's the intellectual property in it then? Like, is it like the mechanical design, or do you have more to it than just building a farm?
No, so it's actually the core tech. We do think there's another angle for the farm itself, how everything is stitched together, but it's the core tech mainly around the way that the air inside it changes, how frequently it changes, and how we were able to pull that off and design new ways of forcing air into a packed room of biology. Like the problem isn't ambient temperature and humidity. You can conceive of just getting a container tomorrow and just shoving an AC in and being like, I've got a climate controlled container. It's so difficult when you then pack that thing with 9 tons of waste and insects who are gassing out loads of stuff. Very difficult to get every single tray to be the perfect climate. And so that's what the patent covers, is the ways in which we were able to do that.
Okay, perfect. Excellent. Well, thank you very much. I have no other questions.
Thank you so much, Larry. That's it. I'll move to our last, but of course, and absolutely not the least, Faraan Irfan, founder and CEO of Saarey, headquartered, again, London, United Kingdom, music tech, pre-series around 5 million in pounds. How's it going, Faraan?
Very good. Thank you very much for having me. Steve, thank you very much for being here. Max and the team, thank you very much for setting this up. Very excited to share what we're doing at Saarey. So I grew up listening to South Asian classical music in a family that has been patrons of it for 63 years in Lahore. So a few years ago, I couldn't find good quality content online, and I was very surprised. It turns out there are 125 million people around the world, like me, out of 1.6 billion South Asians, who love South Asian classical music, but just don't have easy access to it. It's a £9 billion market that is rapidly growing, as was also mentioned by one of our other pitches today. And the music industry is going to be growing by doubling its revenues by 2030, according to Goldman Sachs. And emerging platforms like what we're building here at Saarey is going to be driving that growth. So at Saarey, we're building the digital ecosystem for South Asian classical music, where we provide easy access to exclusive content, and it is designed for the nuances of the culture. The first part of this ecosystem is an audio streaming service that is live worldwide on iOS, Android, and on the web. Now, we have secured exclusive worldwide rights to 85 to 90% of all recordings for the genre that are coming from Pakistan, and we get this on a fixed annual licensing fee. Since a small pre-seed round last year, we grew 70x to now over 500,000 unique monthly active users with a strong retention of 35% in our WOW MAU. UT Austin, the University of Nevada in Las Vegas, and SOAS have already signed up for institutional subscriptions. Harvard, Oxford, Columbia, and the University of Minnesota are in the pipeline. We have found, after trying various strategies to reach our users, that Facebook ads, Google ads, and email marketing are the channels that have worked for us. This is reflected in our best-in-class cost per install, which is a very low 8 pence, the industry average being 15 pence to £1.5, and a very strong conversion of 44% to sign up, with the industry average being 15 to 20%. We have early revenues, which show us we are on track to product market fit, but our real focus on monetization begins after this round. In the small subset of users that are paying us, our CLV over CAC is 10 to 12x, and we have a very low monthly churn of 3.6%, with the industry average being at about 10%. This translates also into our best-in-class cohort retention, where the early years of Amazon, Prime, Netflix, and Spotify had a month 12 paying cohort retention of less than 20%. We are up there at 46% for our first 2 years, and a year 3 cohort into month 8 is retaining 94% of our paid subscribers. We have a simple subscription-based business model, which kicks in after the initial sign-up bonus has been consumed. I have 17 years of experience in this industry. I'm a global MBA with honors from Columbia Business School, London Business School, and Hong Kong University. I did my bachelor's in computer sciences from LUMS. And as I mentioned, I continue my family's 63-year legacy in this space. Both of my amazing co-founders come from London Business School, and Nick was the subscription manager at Spotify. We have an amazing tech team, an outstanding content and marketing team, some super advisors on board. Our investors come from across the world, from the US to the UK to Germany to Pakistan to Italy to Canada. We've done 2 rounds, a pre-seed round, and just closed our bridge round, which included Goodwater Capital, who were early investors in Facebook and Spotify and Twitter and a long list of incredible consumer companies. And 5 of our pre-seed round investors followed on in this bridge round. Now, we're different not only because of our exclusive content, but also because we are specialists in the genre. Our closest competitors, who are also specialists, have non-exclusive content. And then as we move into the generalists, Spotify is actually a complement to what we're doing. They have a gross margin of 30%. We have a gross margin of 82%. We've been winning awards across the world, from Columbia Venture Competition in New York to being selected as a Createch Wants to Watch by the UK Creative Industries Council. And we won 2 startup competitions in London last year. Now, in the future, as we build out this ecosystem, users will be able to give appreciation payments to artists, book them for events, book them for lessons, order instruments, all of which, surprisingly, is still very difficult to do. We've already won a grant from Innovate UK to build out the next part of this ecosystem. Based on our bottom-up database projections, we will have £200 million in revenues in 5 years, and this happens to be just 2% of the market. We're raising £5 million now, and we're currently inviting early interest. For UK investors, we do have EIS available. 50% of the funds goes to marketing, 30% of the funds will go to content and operations, and 20% to tech. And this, based on the numbers that we see on the platform and the industry benchmarks, get us to 23 million users and £9.5 million in annual recurring revenues. So thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much for being here. I look forward to your questions, Tausif.
This serious perfect timing, 0. Tausif, please.
Yeah, no, thanks, Faraan. Very, very interesting concept, and I guess culturally relevant to me also. I'm from Pakistan, and I've been noticing over a period of time as my cohort, I'm in my 50s, right? So the 70s generation. So you started with like Led Zeppelin, Madonna, Michael Jackson, Nirvana, whatever. Now we're back to Lata Mangeshkar and Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan, right? So I think as you get older, you get closer to your roots. So that might be an emerging niche for you as people kind of come back home to roost, at least intellectually, if not physically. Now, I guess the most critical question to me, and what I want to understand, I know you have this whole e-commerce play, which might be a bit unique, built around classic music down the road. But right now, what is unique about your platform that lends itself to classical music? Because, like everybody will ask the same question: Spotify, YouTube, WhatsApp, torrents, cheap CDs and records available in shops in India and Pakistan. What makes your platform unique that somebody will go there and say, that's the place I want to go to listen to classical music?
Great question. Thank you for asking. So first and foremost,
Yeah.
we have secured exclusive worldwide rights to 85 to 90% of all recordings for the genre that are coming from Pakistan.
Yeah.
So the content we have, you can't find anywhere else.
Okay.
And two, as I mentioned, the platform is designed for the nuances of the culture. And you might already understand this, but for other people who are not familiar with the culture, rags, which are compositions, arrangements of music that are hundreds, if not thousands of years old, it has been established over time that they are for specific times of the day or specific seasons. So right now, it's almost 6 o'clock here in London, you'd be listening to a rag Madhvanti or an evening rag. And that's been established over hundreds of years because the whole idea is that specific notes correspond to specific times of the day. And when you listen to that at the right time, that's when your soul is able to connect with nature. And that's one of the things that the music provides. And so that's one example. We'd have rags for the monsoons, rags for being in the mountains. And so that's one example of that nuance for the genre. When we launched, our users started saying to us, so we love what we're listening to, but we want to learn more about the music. And we learned that's something that's very unique to the genre, because unlike Western genres where you just want to listen to the music and you're like, this is great. But when somebody listens to this, they're like, okay, I want to learn more. So we built that into the platform. So when you're listening, you can tap on the album image and now you'll be able to read about the rag and read about the artist in more detail as to what you're listening to and who you're listening to. And that then lent very nicely into the universities, which said, oh, this is what we would love to have access to as well, including the content. So on an overarching scale, it's the content as well as the nuances of the genre.
Yeah. And why are you limiting yourself to just South Asian classical music? Why not gamelan in Indonesia or bluegrass in USA, right? Like why this kind of why narrow your own niche?
Thank you for asking.
Yeah.
Because that's where our expertise lie.
Yeah.
We know the music. I've grown up listening to it. My family has been patrons of it. We have the expertise in this, and it's a very large market that is underserved.
Yeah.
So until we actually kind of start serving that market, our platform from a purely text perspective can easily handle other genres of music. Okay. Because even South Asian classical music, as you would understand, covers Khayal and Thumri and Dhurpad and Dadra and Kafi. There are hundreds of genres which fall under that. So we can handle multiple genres. Yeah. But we want to stay very focused on this niche because that's where we have expertise and it's a very large underserved market.
Okay. Okay. And just going back, I know you showed the breakdown of where the funding is going. Like, how much is going of that is going to technology versus buying the rights? I missed that. Sorry. Yeah.
20% is going to tech.
Yeah.
30% is going to content and operations.
Okay. And the rest is, I guess, operations overhead.
Marketing.
Yeah.
No, 50% is marketing.
Oh, marketing. Sorry. Okay. Okay, got it. And just one last question. So, how does the university model work? Like, is it monetized, the model, or is it just kind of?
Absolutely. So there's a 30-day free trial,
Yeah.
after which they pay per user license.
Okay.
So they pay $50 per user license for the year. We start with a minimum of 25. Some universities get 500 licenses, and that's how that business model works. It is monetized.
But your primary thrust is in consumer market, not on the academic. That's where you see most of your value
That's where
creation
the
happening.
growth is. Absolutely, yes.
Okay. Perfect. No other questions. Very interesting, though. Yeah.
Thank you. That was a great question.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Faraan. Stay there. Don't go. We are bringing everyone now back. And we usually close in this way. We very much know, and Tassif can confirm, that behind any founder must be an absolutely motivation. There is no way you can succeed and create a unicorn if you are not absolutely motivated. It's an up and down every day. So your commitment has to be top notch. So how do we close? We close with two more questions. The first one is for each of you guys, and we start with Faraan. What is the motivation behind you that gives you so much power to believe that you can create something big? And also, are you convinced in a very short 20 seconds statement, Tausif, if to invest in your startup?
Well, thank you for both questions. So, as I also mentioned, I mean, I've grown up listening to genre in Lahore, and my family has been patrons of it for 63 years. I have been actively involved in it for 17 years. And so there's every reason for me to want, and I continue to prove it out, as I've been proving out for the last 3.5 years, that this is something that is valuable, not just for me personally, but also the region, because it's a deep part of our culture and heritage. Now, why should an investor choose to invest? We have found a market fit. We have a strong complementary team with deep industry knowledge. We're serving a large, underserved, growing market, and we have a strong defensible position with our exclusive worldwide rights to the content. We've proven out that this market is large by a 70x growth in a year, and we are resonating with our users. We have incredible investors that are backing destination for everything South Asian classical music.
Thank you so much, Faraan. Andrei, what is the motivation behind you, and how do you?
So I'm very motivated by in my company by finally having something in the green space that stacks up in a financially sustainable way. You know, I did all of my studies in environmental science, philosophy. I looked a lot at green energy and all the kind of promises of the green sector. And my issue has always been that, you know, a lot of the time these things are subsidized. And what I want is for this sector to stand on its own feet with something to basically incentivize other companies to get involved, other people to get involved without having to coerce them, just because it makes business sense. And so I've been hooked by insect farming since I first learned about it. And I've been basically doing other businesses to create enough capital to start this and self-finance it to pre-seed with my co-founders. And I know this is a view shared by Andrei, our CEO, and so that's my mission here to make that happen. In terms of where we are, we have a patent on very key tech to make this sort of thing happen. We have relationships and a pipeline that is already 30 of these containers strong that are waiting. We have grants from Innovate UK and the EU in excess of £1.8 million already in the first 2.5 years. We're setting up the world's first end-to-end farm in Aylesbury that people will be able to come view. And so for all those reasons, I'm just really excited about the future.
Thank you so much, Larry. I think we lost the connection with Moses. If not coming back, unfortunately, we don't have so much time. So, Jennifer, I think you are the one who's going to close this pitch event. And after, I will leave 1 minute more to Tausif. He wants to give you just a short, brief advice.
Yeah, absolutely. So why we're doing this, circularity is the future. By 2030, circular economy in Europe is going to grow to 630 billion euros. The time is right to get on that and experience that tailwind now. Resale is the way forward as part of the circular economy. People will always have children, and parents are a demographic with huge spending power. As a team, we've got the experience to deliver on it. We know our demographic, and we are super passionate about the space.
Thank you so much, Jennifer. Tausif, let's close with you today. If you want to give any formal recommendation or advice to our founders, what can be? Generally,
yeah, no, I think they were great presentations. I think a couple probably needed to articulate their value proposition and business model a bit more, but generally, like, the quality was like really good. I think, like, I need to reflect on this also and have a chat with a few of my colleagues who are in investment space. But I think generally the issue I've seen is, and that's something like I need to kind of reflect a bit more on, is like the moats are not deep. So these are all great business models, and I'm sure there are investors out there who would love to invest in you in your companies, and I'll be happy to introduce you to them. But I think the technical modes, except maybe for FlyBox, seem to be not there. And I think this is something that a lot of investors look for, is for Kidsie or for Saarey, they and the rest, actually, for that matter, is like, how deep is the technical mode? What is stopping from other companies to coming into your space? Even if you're like the first to market from that perspective. So that's where I think I need, it might just be, it just didn't come out because 5 minutes are not enough. I think it's like a very American thing that people are asked to summarize everything in 5 minutes, but complex problems need long explanations, right? So, so I might have just missed that, but I think that's the only feeling I was kind of making notes on. Okay, what is the defensibility here for each of this company? And that's where I felt a bit of a gap, right? I'll follow up with some questions. I'll send them to you, Max, to the team, right?
Thank you.
But generally, like I said, like, kudos to all of you. Like, great companies. You guys are trying to make a difference, whether it's preserving, like national or cultural heritage for a region, or solving the food supply problem, or just getting that whole recycling flywheel. Like, sitting in Canada, USA, like, we are big wasters, right? So I think, Jennifer, what you're building will only come out of Europe, right? Because Europeans tend to be more conservative. So kudos to all of you. You guys are doing great work. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Tausif.
Thank you.
We had to go. We had to close our pitch event today. It's been absolutely exciting. I really thank you, all of you guys. Tausif, Faraan, Moses is not with us, and Andrei, Jennifer, and Larry. Thank you to everyone watching today. You can continue watching our pitch event on YouTube channel, open to any subscriber, and you see that all the 51 pitch events we've done up to now. And again, I see you next week, Tuesday. We have the pitch event, 11 p.m., 11 a.m. UK for Asia, 6 p.m. Singapore time. And after 5 p.m. UK, we go live for Europe and US, because we have a lot of founders coming from US, Canada as well. So let's say Atlantic, maybe. Thank you to everyone. And again, thank you so much.
Okay,
See you next.
fantastic. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Bye.